Good morning, book lovers of the internet. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe because for every subscriber, I get a new subscriber and I read a page from a book of my choice. So today is my brother's birthday, so make sure to wish him a happy birthday in the comment section below. And in this video, I am going to be reviewing this book called Goal by Robert Rigby. My brother is actually a fan of football, so it is perfect timing that I managed to finish this morning. It has about 270 pages, and I reviewed it and rated it 3 out of 5 stars. So this is what I have to say about the book. So this wasn't like anything I would usually read, but it was quite enjoyable anyway. In general, I really like books that speak about exercise and anything having to do with success, so or success stories, basically like Santiago's or something like even Iron Man, Tony Stark's story, the same sort of vibe, or Abroad in Japan, that sort of deal. Always up my alley, whether it's fiction or non-fiction. Santiago came from nothing, from a family which is basically a bunch of illegals, a bunch of unknowns, and with his passion for football, his talent, and some luck, he managed to make a name for himself, and I suppose he also managed to make his family proud in some way or another, because his grandmother and his younger brother, they were able to see and track his progress throughout. He doesn't score all that much in this one. I'm sure that he scores more in the next two books because a couple of years ago I actually read these for a project I had for school, and it was great to return to the first book to see whether I could interpret it differently. But yeah, he doesn't really score all that much in this one, and I'm certain that his reputation, however, is now better than ever because he does do some assists which are extremely useful to his team. There are some real names thrown around in here from about 10 years ago, I suppose. And personally, I don't really follow football much, so this is because I'm more of a swimmer, I suppose. And this one was about the protagonist's team making it to the Champions League, which is, of course, has nothing to do with swimming or the Olympics or that sort of stuff. So I wouldn't even know that much about the Champions League either. I'm sure my brother would be able to tell you more about it. There is some really great banter, the same thing you will always hear when you read anything British, basically. They like to fool around, make fun of people, and they're very jovial, I suppose, in some way or another. Um, there are also some highs and lows, the same stuff you would find in anybody's life. And okay. And the usual trope of not making it the first time, then coming back a second time stronger than ever, and of course, dominating the scene. There is, of course, this bully who tries to ruin Santiago's life because he is a footballer who has asthma, which isn't a theme that is mentioned nearly enough, and I think it should be since he's a footballer, he should have breathing problems, and that is something that should be consistent, but it isn't mentioned enough. And it's not really implied either, but there is this bully who tries to make his life even harder because he is jealous and he crushes his inhaler for the guy's asthma on purpose. So that was quite an annoying thing to read about, but I suppose it's necessary to detail the highs and lows of becoming successful. It was quite a saddening yet encouraging read simultaneously, and I think that people who are born with a talent like Santiago's need to learn to believe in themselves, yet still depend on others to give them opportunities to prove themselves to the world. It's quite bittersweet how Santiago didn't listen to what his dad had to say about his dreams, because his father really didn't believe that Santiago would be able to pursue his dreams, but the protagonist did anyway, and it was a good thing he did, but it was still sad because of what happens to the father. And I'm not going to spoil anything, but you probably know where I'm headed with this. Um, I'm sure that Santi's dad wanted what was best for his son, but sometimes life just doesn't work that way. I would personally recommend this book to football fans who perhaps don't read much, and I'm sure that there are some football fans out there who need to read way more than they do because football is fine and all, but you also need an education. You can't just watch football all day and think you're learning anything. I'm only saying this because I don't watch football personally. yet still thought of this as a pleasant read, just not particularly mind blowing. And fans of the sport should enjoy it more than I did. And once again, personally, I never really understood the appeal where football is concerned, to be honest. And I think of it as quite a dull sport. Although I understand how it works and all, I just like swimming much better, and there are sports which I'd say are much more enjoyable. Of course, if you disagree with this, let me know in the comment section. I'm not here to create any sorts of arguments or something. Anyway, that's all I had to say about Goal by Robert Rigby. This is the first book in a trilogy about Santiago and his friends and his team. Um, as usual, thank you so much for watching. If you agree with anything I had to say, let me know in the comment section. Feel free to recommend anything I should read and review. And check out the rest of my content, my shorts, my videos, my live streams, my community posts, anything to help make this community grow ever larger so we can get a silver play button by the end of the year. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one, hopefully very, very soon. Bye, guys.